What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Conversation Station. This episode, we're going to be talking about a few comics that I picked up. We'll check out the artwork and talk about the story a little bit. Now, I actually picked these comic books up over at Dollar Tree. I've been seeing the little stand for DC Comics for quite a while now, and I just decided I'm going to grab a few and check them out. First up I got is Teen Titans Rebirth #1. On the front, we got a really good shot of Damian Wayne as Robin. Book sees Raven, Beast Boy, Kid Flash, and Starfire basically trying to find their way in the world after the death of Tim Drake and just kind of, figure out where they fit in. And Starfire, of course, is on a beach thinking about Dick Grayson and just her past and things that she's been through. And Raven trying to find peace in a museum, just trying to look at some artwork and, figure stuff out, as she often does. Which leads us to a really awesome picture of that, I'm guessing she kind of makes in her mind, and it's really awesome of her and Trigon. In the midst of all this, they all end up getting into some kind of situation where they have to help somebody, and in the midst of that, they all get captured by a mysterious, shadowy figure. And eventually they end up all together on this electric kind of holding cell. Robin. Really awesome. I just love the way they draw Damian Wayne. He just looks so damn good, especially when he gets that hood on. Like that's an awesome look right there. Next, we got another Teen Titans DC Rebirth. And this is actually the continuation of that last story. And it, Robin talks about his past and how his 13th birthday kind of marks his, step towards adulthood. But, he's having troubles with his past, basically, and things that he's still having to deal with, which is why he's brought this team together. Back to him having them trapped, and he does what Damian does best, which is just verbally pick them apart and tell them why, as individuals, they might not be as strong as they could be, but obviously they know together. He knows that together they're going to be really powerful, and that he knows that they know that. It's just kind of one of those things that you have to remind them, and he keeps egging them on until eventually they show exactly how powerful they are. That, yeah, you can trap the Teen Titans or, any of those members, but you're not going to hold them for long, and you're not going to be able to keep them locked down. And that was his plan all along, because, Damian's the master tactician, and everything he does has a plan, or is planned. This is the new Teen Titans. Like I said, I just really love this artwork on Damian. I think it looks really good. And as we get to the end of the story, we find out that there is a reason that Damian brought this team together. It wasn't just for fun or just to be the leader of the Teen Titans. He really does need their help, and he needs their help to fight against a piece of his past that he's definitely trying to run from, but he's not going to run anymore. Next up, we got the Dawn of DC, Green Arrow #1. One sees Oliver being transported basically to the future. In the beginning, he ends up on a stranded island, and I think he believes he's back on that island that he got stranded on in the before, but it turns out that this is where he ends up, which just some fantastic artwork and really, really cool looking futuristic style beach. Now, Green Arrow was snatched basically out of space while they said they were following Hal's light back to Earth, and he was snatched and leaving his family to kind of wonder where he's at, which includes Roy Harper, Connor Hawke, and Black Canary. Green Arrow also has like a little explanation of how Black Canary kind of kept him honest and made him less of a D-bag. And whenever, he kind of felt like he lost his heart, that she's the one who helped him find it. Now in this, we also get to see Cheshire Cat, which I learned from the Young Justice show that's Roy Harper's daughter, that, he thought he lost her. And it goes through that, again, where they find each other, and they're actually taking out little members of, the Riddler's gang. You can see this guy's got a hoodie with a bunch of question marks on it. And, so they got, those guys, and there's also a guy with a Joker style mask, so it's almost like they're little henchmen, small cronies that these guys are dealing with, so that's kind of cool. After Roy sees Cheshire Cat's moves, he immediately knows it's his daughter and calls her out on it, and just ties back to all the memories he has, and tells her, you can come home if you want. And in that, we get a really awesome shot of them just in an embrace, which is really cool just to see how they drew that, and the memories in the background is really cool. She's trying to explain to everybody kind of what's going on, and in that process, she ends up starting to materialize and disappear as well, and they're not sure why or what's going on. And she just basically says that you have to find Amanda Waller, and that's who's going to tell you what's going on. And obviously Roy Harper is very upset, and he's now on the hunt for Amanda Waller. And she ends up, in the future, being chased by the Manhunters, if I'm not mistaken. Because it says there will be no escape. No man can escape the Manhunters. And, of course, who's there to save her but the Green Arrow himself? And to which she asks, was that a chainsaw arrow? And yes, it absolutely was a chainsaw arrow. And I think that's just insane. And in that, they find a portal where the possibility is that they could get home, but Green Arrow immediately destroys it for some reason, saying that, for reasons I don't know, they can never go home. Last but not least, I got Swamp Thing number 1. This one starts with members of the Justice League just kind of realizing that nature is having issues. Lots of birds are dying, fish are dying in huge swarms, and even Batman in Batman's cave, the bats are dying. And of course, who has to come visit but Big Blue himself? And the big guy just comes in and talks about how he could do good as the Swamp Thing, but Dr. Holland doesn't really feel the same way. He doesn't feel like he ever was Swamp Thing. Obviously he feels separated from it, that him and Swamp Thing were two different things, and also warning him that all these signs of dying nature, which Dr. Holland just kind of dismisses and says, these things happen sometimes, like loads of animals die. It's just kind of a hiccup, in the natural order, but it just kind of happens. But Superman's just like, well, as well as I do, nature rings a warning bell, and so it might be something worth checking out. And while they're talking about this, some kind of swarm of evil flies mixed with the dead bones of a fossil just basically come alive and take over this entire group of people and kill them and turn them into these weird kind of zombie things, and basically cracking their necks all the way around. And it's really, really violent and cool looking. Eventually it turns into this big old beast that, again, has these people as kind of its zombie horde, I guess you could say. Of course, Dr. Holland, as much as he tries, like I said, to outrun his past, the things always end up coming back. And, if you're needed, you're needed, and especially for, any type of mantle or anything like that, it's going to come back for you. And we got the reappearance of Swamp Thing. Just great. It was a really great story. I want to get more of this. I definitely want to get more Swamp Thing comics. I only have 2 or 3 of them. I really appreciate any time you spend watching my videos. Thank you, and I hope to see you again.